Hey everybody, Dale with Flatirons Fire. The reason I paused is because I'm so used to saying Black Hills Fireplace for so many years. But now that we're doing our rechange or a rebrand, the name is Flatirons Fire, and it doesn't roll off the tongue very fast yet. We live in two different worlds in our company. We're a fireplace company, but we're also a custom home builder. When we go into the fireplace world, one of the questions is, should you even put a fireplace in your house if home efficiency is probably the most important thing to you? So I'm gonna kind of tell you the answer is yes and no. Even though I sell fireplaces, I'm gonna tell you there's gonna be a lot of downfalls to putting a fireplace into your home. Now, we also live in two different worlds. We have gas fireplaces and we have wood fireplaces. We have gas stoves, we have wood stoves. So I'm gonna kind of break it down, the different ones, some of the rules they all play in, and then some of the issues you're gonna have when you put a fireplace in your house. And like I said, I would love nothing more for you to go on my website or come into one of our two showrooms and buy a fireplace from us. But as a builder, it's one of the things I need to educate our customers on too, and when we're putting a fireplace in their home. So, why would you not want to put a fireplace in your house? The biggest reason is you're basically creating a hole in your house with a cheap piece of glass or only a ceramic piece of glass with a highway of cold air that is coming right down on top of inside this chamber. We've all heard the term heat rises, which is kind of true, but really what happens is cold air is much heavier than hot air. So when cold air falls down, it pushes the hot air up. So when I have a chimney that's about 30 foot tall and I have cold air trying to enter at the chimney cap, I have all this cold air just compressing down and coming down into this fireplace. So on a frigid day, if it's 0 degrees, you go through and touch your windows and they're really nice high-end Marvin or Pella windows. You're gonna touch the glass and yeah, it's gonna be cool to the touch. They're still either double pane or triple pane and all the different technology that makes a window give you good insulative properties or R values from the outside. That's not happening with a fireplace. So you may walk onto your house and your house is somewhere around 65, 70 degrees on the inside, but if you put your hand on the glass, it's gonna be cold and much colder than what would be on the window. So that's gonna be the number one thing that's going to, the negative effect of having a fireplace in your house. There's some things to mitigate it. You know, if you have a pilot, turning your pilot on so it keeps that chamber a little bit warm. Okay, so now you're wasting a little bit of gas. It's a give and take. You're gonna have to kind of weigh those options. You're probably wasting $1 in gas a month by keeping your pilot on, or maybe you have propane, same thing. But with gas, it's a little bit less of a sin because they tend to be sealed units and they're not really open. Now, when you get into the wood world, that's a whole completely different scenario. Now with wood, you have a damper system that you have to keep open. You have an open bay that typically they don't have glass, so it's just open to the room. And what's happening is all that heat that unit's producing is essentially just going right up the chimney. In your living room, if you have a roaring fire going in a wood fireplace, all your air that's feeding that fire is coming from the room and heading up the chimney. Now, if we were gonna go talk about a wood stove, I would honestly say those are gonna be your best heaters as far as the amount of heat they put out and are you losing air. You know, when you have a wood stove, they have a sealed door, they have fans, and instead of using the house to, the air from the house to feed the fire, they have what's called fresh air kits. So it's a 3 or 4 inch pipe that goes to the outside of the house. It's using that to give as much fresh air or combustion air to the fire, and then it is producing a lot of radiant heat around this box and it is coming into the room. And then you have exposed chimney pipe as it's going through the room. You're getting a little bit of radiant heat off of that chimney too. That's why I'm okay with wood stoves, wood fireplaces, what they call zero clearance fireplaces. Those are essentially aesthetic things that look really cool. So if you live in a warmer climate that doesn't have very much variation, like Texas, California, Arizona, North Florida, if you're gonna put an open face wood fireplace inside your house, it's not gonna be that big of a deal. Our industry now is starting to get tightened up where they have to meet certain standards of how many emissions it's putting out. It's a little bit of a different world. Another thing that's gonna come into play is, are you burning pine or are you burning oak? In the Black Hills, everybody's got pine. They have 3 or 4 acres and that's all they wanna burn is pine. And that is one of the worst woods that you could burn is pine. It's pitchy, it's gonna create a lot of soot. Whereas you have oak, it's a hardwood, it burns more efficiently, it's more of a steady burn. If you're into cars, you know that the Range Rover is a very cool car and it's one of the most unreliable cars out there. But in the car industry, they kind of call that a passion purchase. You're not buying it for the reliability. You're not buying it because it's really that great of a car. You think it looks cool, you think it's sexy. That's where I am at with wood appliances. Is it's a passion purchase where you like the aesthetic, you like the smell of wood, but in the end, if you're going in for efficiency, wood is not the way to want to go. So in the end, be open-minded. You may go into a fireplace shop and say, I'm dead set on doing this. If the fireplace shop is worth anything, they're going to educate you, do what's best for you. Even if you decide to go with what you want, that's fine. As long as they educate you, that's what matters. So should you put a fireplace in your house? Yeah, you should, because they're cool. They provide a lot of ambiance. People like to hang out around the fire. There's a social component to it that's, I think, more important than just the efficiencies of it. So yeah, you should get a fireplace. Just educate yourself before you buy one. Thanks for visiting Flatirons Fire. We got a lot more videos coming down the pike. Stay tuned. And please visit our website. When you buy a fireplace from us, it helps us create more content and help you guys out. So visit flatironsfire.com, and we can't wait to see you again. Thank you very much.